this is Chris coming to you live from the library on behalf of Cinephellas, the only website for all your cinephilic needs. Today I'll be reviewing Cafe Society, the latest film written and directed by our old pal Woody Allen. It stars Jesse Eisenberg and Kristen Stewart as two torn lovers in 1930s America. But in the Woodman's hands, Cafe Society is more than a predictable romantic comedy drama. In fact, Eisenberg is the ideal contemporary mouthpiece for Woody Allen's neuroses. Through Eisenberg's character Bobby Dorfman, Woody returns to many themes that have dominated his career. One of the most obvious is the tension between New York City and Los Angeles, which is present in earlier films of Woody's like Annie Hall, for example. Cafe Society begins with Bobby's journey out west from his home in the Bronx in the hopes of getting a job with his uncle and big-time Hollywood agent Phil Stern, played on point by Steve Carrell. Bobby's looking for a new life and an exciting new job, but unexpectedly also finds himself falling for Phil's secretary, Vonnie, portrayed with a seductive glow and soft vulnerability by Kristen Stewart. Woody uses their relationship to explore tensions between artifice and art. Bobby longs to head back to the authenticity of the Bronx, arguing that the dream world of Hollywood is just too fake. Vonnie initially agrees until she's seduced by LA's glitz and glamour. When their relationship inevitably falls apart due to an unexpected love triangle, Bobby heads back east. He settles into Manhattan's nightlife, rubbing elbows with every socialite in town. But New York isn't without its problems. Through the Dorfman's family drama, Woody returns to the theme of Jewish identity exploration. Bobby's brother Ben funds a nightclub with money garnered from a life of organized crime, and when Ben is arrested, it throws the Dorfman family into chaos. Bobby rises to social prominence out of necessity, being the only one left to run the club, and Ben's pending execution inspires a conversion to Christianity. Jeannie Berlin's Mrs. Dorfman mourns Ben's situation by commenting, "First a murderer, and then a Christian." Cafe Society also brings together many of the strongest elements of Woody's art from his entire career. The film will remind fans of 1975's Love and Death or 2011's Midnight in Paris, in that it's a fun piece of historical fiction, and the realistic, sometimes pessimistic, views of the entertainment industry are reminiscent of 2002's Hollywood Ending. But longtime fans will recognize the persistent connections between love, sex, anxiety, and death that date back to Woody's stand-up routines of the 1960s. There's also been a concern in Woody's art about finding some kind of meaning in life, especially under the stress of pending death. This relationship can be summed up in Cafe Society by Bobby's brother-in-law, who announces that unrequited love kills more people per year than tuberculosis. That line could be straight out of Annie Hall, Hannah and Her Sisters, or several of Woody's other films. Sometimes that anxiety takes the shape of sexual impotence, as in a comedic scene in Cafe Society where Bobby is more concerned that a prostitute shows up late to his hotel room than with actually having sex with her. He even offers to pay her to leave if it means that the awkward moment can end. At other times, the emotional instability shows itself through unrequited love. Bobby almost falls apart after he and Vonnie go their separate ways. Many writers and directors would be content to end the romantic comedy dramas with the split, or call it an allegory about the dangers of Hollywood. Or they might even force a happy ending in which the torn lovers reunite. Without giving away too many details, let's just say Woody avoids this cliché. Looking at his body of work, it makes sense that he would use New York City as a metaphor for homecoming and rebirth, but for me, the strategy succeeds in large part because of a great performance by Kristen Stewart. The camera warms to her throughout the film, and she gives a sort of heartbreaking and dedicated performance that sees her assuming the role of Woody Allen muse, a distinction that once belonged to Diane Keaton, Mia Farrow, and of course Scarlett Johansson. On a scale from 1 to getting this movie tattooed on the inside of your eyelids, I say do yourself a favor and check it out. For anyone that respects Woody's career, is interested in old Hollywood, or just wants to see a well-made film with genuine heart, you'll be doing yourself a favor. Also, look out for a solid performance by Blake Lively. Hey, once you see the film, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. But Remember, we want to start a dialogue, not a diatribe, so constructive comments only. Alright, I'm Chris for Cinephellas, reminding you to share a movie with someone you love. See you next time!